right, people. We are here for BHDL interview number 2 with none other than the founder of BHDL themselves and the season 5 finalist. We have Biradu in the house. How's it going, my friend?
Hi, bro. I'm doing really good. I'm really happy to be here with you talking about BHDL and who knows what else.
Absolutely. So excited to have you with this. I'm gonna be honest, I've been wanting to have this for a long time. But right at the top, I gotta tell you again, my friend, congratulations on being a father. And also, of course, once again for being the finalist. That game that we had, that last game, that was probably one of my top favorite draft games that we've had. Or just any game that I've had in draft was so fun.
Yeah, same here. It probably was one of my favorite games because it fluctuated a lot, you know. I started really bad and then I managed to pull back into the game. So, yeah, pretty hype, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also
And
that yeah.
thank you as well for congratulating me for being a father. I actually we had an ecography yesterday, and we ensured that it was a girl that we were expecting. So we're really happy with
Really?
you.
Oh, that's so cool. Man, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's
baby
that's
girl.
man, that just touches my heart, man, for you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, thank you.
Ah. All right. Well, getting into Pokemon here. Obviously, you just had your interview with Lucaria, man. Was a excellent interview. Be sure to go check out Lucaria, man, if you guys haven't already, guys, and go watch that interview as well to this. So I'm gonna kind of try to piggyback off of what he did and his stuff. Um, so you kind of talked about how you got into Pokemon, I believe, from playing at school, and you started out with Pokemon Blue in Gen 1.
Yeah, yeah, that was my first game.
Okay. And so you were playing that, you took a little break, and you came back around Generation 6, right? X and Y?
Yeah, yeah. So I played from Gen 1 through 3.
Yep.
Uh, and then I took a break and got back in Gen 6, where I picked up Pokemon X, I think.
Yes,
And
you
then,
gotta have Pokemon X. I agree. There you go.
yeah, so I like Xerneas better than Yveltal.
Absolutely. Also, some of the
And
Megas like Mega Pinsir and Mega Charizard X, man.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Mega Charizard X is way better than Y,
Yep.
definitely. And it wasn't that gen that I learned about IVs and EVs, and that was like mind blowing to me. That
Ah,
I was playing the
yes.
game like in easy mode before, and now everything had a strategy, you know. But I, for some reason, I never played online in Gen 6. I just learned about this stuff and I started breeding some months.
Right.
And then I quit because I didn't like Gen 7 too much. The whole concept of Z-mobs wasn't that interesting to me. But fast forward, I picked BDSP because I wanted to try Gen 4. I never tried it before. And that's when I really fell in love with the game.
Ah, interesting. I had the opposite. Maybe it was because I was playing. I had played through Gen 7 and Gen 8. There was just something about BDSP. Like, I don't know if you felt this way, but getting the TMs in that game to legitimately make the Pokemon was so tedious. I don't know if you experienced that or how you felt about that.
Absolutely. It was a complete grind. Even hyper training your Pokemon was a pain in the ass because you had to level them up to level 100, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really hard, but I mean, I found breathing so relaxing with that music, with the bike music, that I still love till this day. I
Yeah.
sometimes get to work and the bike music of BDSP is playing, accompanying me in a loop, you know?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I mean the breeding part, I was pretty used to that from the other games. Like that part I didn't mind. It was mainly just I think I had bred about a full box of Pokemon for OU for BDSP. I can't remember how many battles I had that I did online. It must have been around like 20 or something I posted to YouTube. But eventually I just went back to Sword and Shield. I'm gonna be honest with you.
So did BDSP come after Sword and Shield, or was it the opposite?
Yeah, so Sword and Shield was 2019, and then yeah, BDSP was in 2021. Because then Arceus, did you play Arceus? That came out in 2022, like January.
I never finished it. I have it. I got it, but I never finished
I
it.
don't blame you. I only went back to go finish it before Home came out to get Enamorous. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Took like a
Uh-huh.
year-long
I
break.
got someone to trade me their enamory, so I didn't even do that.
Ah, well, yeah. If you got that like that, then you don't even have to.
So,
So,
fun fact: I named my enamory's housewife, and now I can't change its name back.
oh yeah, you get the one-time nickname. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
So then we get into Generation 9, and that's when I think things really start to pick up, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Generation 9 was another mind blow to me, actually. Um, so this whole new open world concept is something that I really liked. I never played Zelda, but there was something in Zelda I thought was really enticing to me. And when they extrapolated that to Pokemon, I think there was like I mean, it was really, really, really cool to me. So that's why I think I put so many hours in this game. I don't know how many I put, probably not as many as Chris, but yeah. And also the fact that you could get competitive Pokemons really fast was also cool.
Yes.
You didn't have the relaxing experience of BDSP, but that was a grind, and it was really welcome that you didn't have to grind that much to get competitive Pokemon this gen. So that's another thing that I found really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you did this, but the what I would do is I would put the eggs in the, or I'd do the picnics, and I would like for 20 minutes go do something else, go do some chores, come back, get my eggs hatched, start the next cycle to perfect the EVs, or I mean the IVs, and go do something else again. That's what I was doing, and I was able to get the mons like super fast. It was crazy.
Yeah, so I was even lazier. I never bred my mons in Gen 9. I just hyper trained them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, because they made it to level 50. That's the thing. I don't think people love to throw hate on Scarlet and Violet just because of the performance issues early on that they fixed anyways. And I think a lot of that was because they were running on uh the original Switch. I've been playing on the Switch OLED, so it's been pretty good. Um so they love to throw shade at Scarlet and Violet, but they don't see all the change. Do they not realize that you can literally fly around and it's an open world? I mean, seriously, this is incredible.
Yeah, Gen 9 is amazing. A really, really cool game. Really bad in performance. In my opinion, it's still bad to me because I'm not playing in the OLED, and it's pretty laggy and has some bugs sometimes. But I mean, the overall quality of life improvements that they made is amazing.
Yeah, quality of life was huge indeed. So let me see. So you talked about how you learned about the EVs and the IVs in Gen 6. You said you didn't really play. So how often have you been on like Pokemon Showdown? Have you done that a lot, or was it just strictly like Wi-Fi?
It was strictly Wi-Fi. I
Really?
actually played a lot of Showdown in the VDSP era. I managed
Oh,
to
okay,
climb
yeah.
to, I think, uh, 1,007 and 800 or something in the
Hey,
ladder of
1800, that's
VDSP.
impressive.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I made the team myself. And actually, well, that was my peak, and then I started to drop a little bit. But
Yeah.
that's when I used Showdown the most. And nowadays, I just use it for random battles when I'm bored, and I get online and play a random battle, and to make teams also for draft.
Yeah. So, dang. Yeah, because you're a very skilled battler, in my opinion, like right up there with the best of them. So I'm just like, because at least for me, it took me a long time to get to where I was. Like, when I first started, like, and I only got into competitive because of my friend that pushed me to get into it. And for a while, he would beat me every single time, you know? So it took me like years of learning all the Pokemon, because I had only just started in Gen 6, and learning all the moves and what they all had and like watching Pokey Aim and Shofu and all those guys that battle in Gen 6 and 7 and just learning from them and getting all the experience. And even then, I didn't really get to the level where I'm at until like Scarlet and Violet. I feel like I was still taking Sword and Shield to like improve. So like, it seems to me like you've been able to improve and get to this level in a much faster time. Like, were you watching any PokeTubers or like, where did you get your battle experience?
So yeah, when I was listening to your conversation with Chris, I never watched any of those guys. I just
Oh,
picked up Pokemon YouTube like now when I was playing
mm,
BDSP and I found out about Jack and
yep.
also Pokémon. I think those are the two that also Envy, but we don't
Yep.
talk about Envy
No,
anymore.
yeah, we don't got to worry
Uh,
about him anymore.
yeah. So those three I think were my inspiration. I was fairly confident in my skill in BDSP, but somehow when I turned into Gen 9 and I started battling everyone, I was actually one of those guys that didn't want to play with legends, with legendaries, just like Chris was. And so mostly because I couldn't get them in game with a decent enough stat spread.
Yeah, that's fair.
So in BDSP you could get away with that. Actually, I was something like missing like Heatran and that's it. And maybe the Lake Trio, but I didn't care too much about them. But then come Gen 9 and the legendary Pokemons are really useful again. And I kept telling myself I don't want to do this. But then I discovered I could hyper train them, and I got to use them finally. But that's another point. So I was struggling at the beginning of the generation, maybe mainly because of that, and the game was too fast paced. The user interface was weird to me, and I didn't feel comfortable. Actually, I was losing most of my battles when I was playing in the Battle Hub Discord server. And I remember you were one of my first inspirations because I used to look at your videos after I found you had a YouTube channel, and you were so confident. You sounded so confident in your abilities. And I remember we played a little bit back then, and you used to beat me a lot. And eventually, I beat you once, and then and that's the point. I thought to myself, well, I'm not that bad at this game. So yeah, after that, it's been a lot of improvement. I think draft has helped me improve at playing Pokemon a lot because I've learned different skills that you don't usually learn when you do mostly standard Smogon. But yeah, most of my improvement has been during this generation.
Wow, that's beautiful. You see, when I started the channel, I didn't even think that I would be like that for anybody. You know what I mean? Much less someone I know so well, or like I consider a good friend, in Pokemon. So wow, that's really touching, man. But yeah, like you really improved really quickly. I mean, if considering that all through draft. But then again, I mean, to me, that's the thing about the Battle Hub. The beauty of that server is that there's so many good players. Is that we all sharpen each other's knives, like we all sharpen each other's skills, and we can very quickly see improvement. Like I think about with like Brandon, who had never really played draft, and then all of a sudden he just starts going in and doing a bunch of. I guess that just goes to show, like, it's a game of experience. So if you keep on having more and more battles, you're gonna keep on improving. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. But Brandon is an excellent example. He's improved a lot, I think. I remember him looking for a lot of battles in the draft server. For some reason, I almost never could battle him. But when I did at the beginning, he wasn't that good. I mean, he was mostly used to battle stadium singles, I think. So he tried to import that playstyle to Smogon battles, and it didn't work so well. But he's improved a lot. I mean, he's really good right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Dang. So yeah. So just real quick before we start going on to BHDL. So you said you found the Battle Hub server. How did you find? Because I know for me, like I just remember like going through YouTube back in like the Sword and Shield era and seeing like the top PokeTuber, like they were doing strictly Wi-Fi battles at the time, and that's how I found it. How did you find the Battle Hub server?
Yeah, so after I got BDSP, I didn't watch, I didn't know anything about Pokemon YouTube, and I wanted to experience some more content other than what I was doing. So that's how I found Jack, and all his videos actually in the description you can find the Discord link. So
Yep.
that's how I joined,
Yeah, I
and
know.
I became really active in the community actually,
I know
and
you did. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That for a while, I think there was a point where we were trying to just get to like 100 members, because it really blew up during BDSP actually, which is crazy. Because in Sword and Shield, I don't think as many people were playing, so I think there was a lot of folks that BDSP must have introduced to it. Because I was literally trying to promote the thing too, like even just my little small channel at the time was like, hey, go check out the Battle Hub Discord or the Battle Hub server. That's where you can get all these battles with these cool dudes. And I would like say it every single time because I wanted to have more battles with more people, you know. And now it's gotten to the point where we have so many people that I can't even name them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. I pretty much used to know everybody when I joined, and now there's way too many people to know everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
All right, so now we get into Scarlet and Violet, where we're pretty deep into the game. At what point did you and a Praetor decide to create? I need the genesis, the foundation of the BHDL.
yeah. So one of those two that I used to know in the Battle Hub server was actually Upgrader. He was really active there as well. But you know, Upgrader, he is in his thing always. He always talks about draft, and he used to talk about draft just like he does now, like it's the main format. And I didn't understand what he was talking about. I had never heard about draft leagues before. As you know, as you remember, I didn't watch many YouTube channels before I joined the server. So yeah, he was talking about draft, and I found out later that he actually had a YouTube channel. So I was curious, and I remember I came across one of his videos where he was doing this draft, which had a really weird format where you did one battle. You drafted one team, but with the team, it was the best of three in every week. But you had to do one battle in singles, one battle in doubles, and the other one I can't remember. So that was really curious to me, and that sounded really fun. So I asked him what was that all about, and he started to tell me what was draft from scratch. I didn't know anything about it. So just around that time, he told me I am starting a league that I own myself, uh, called CPL, and that league actually he was the owner, and Brett Pudding was actually
Yeah.
the co-owner. So
Oh
that's how
wow.
I found out about those two. And they invited me to join. I had to apply. I was really excited because that was my first draft ever, and yeah, that's how I discovered draft. I remember I did pretty well in that draft. I made playoff, and obviously I lost in quarterfinals, and that to no one's
Oh man.
surprise.
Oh man. Even back then. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. So after that, that was a really fun league. I remember I drafted Terra King Gambit, and that thing was a monster.
Oof.
And that's when I realized, yeah, we need to put some restriction on Terra captains because it's way too crazy if we let everything Terra, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I finished that league, and just after that, Upgrader invites me to another league called SDA, which is still running. He was
Yeah.
a commissioner there, and now he's the owner. And I joined that. No, back then, I didn't upload my battles, so there was this non-upload required division that I joined, and I actually made top 8 once again, playoff. But there I got to semifinals. Actually,
Oh
a little
hey,
better.
look at there. Semifinals.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is not my first time passing quarterfinals. It's actually the second one.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Good to
yeah,
hear.
so after I finished that league, I can't remember which one I drafted there, but I was telling Upgrader, I want to do more of this stuff. You know, I really like draft, and I like the people that I play with in the Battle Hub server where I play standard small tier. So that's where I pitched the idea to him to make a draft ourselves, and I asked for him his opinion and guidance because he was more experienced than I. So yeah, I had to learn everything from scratch, from setting up a Discord server, getting a new dog. I actually borrowed one dog from the Smogon resources forum,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I invited the people that I used to play with the most. So that was mainly Ray, uh, that was Scorpion, I think, and Chris. Yeah, probably those three because they were really active. I had a lot of battles with Chris and Ray, so mainly I wanted those two to get into the league. So and then I posted the announcement in the Battle Hub, and the rest of you filled in the rest of the spots. And I think that was probably one of the most the most the decisions that make me the proudest because I managed to do this from scratch with very little um, experience, and it turned out really great. We made a huge community, a really tight community. Uh, it had some problems at some time, but I mean, families have some problems sometimes. But yeah, I'm really ecstatic that you guys had so much fun and you embraced the idea with so much passion, and that fills my heart, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's crazy, like the butterfly effect that we have on each other. Because yeah, I remember seeing the posts whenever they were like the Battle Hub Draft League, and because before that we had a Battle Hub League that yeah I don't know if you remember that Caddy had run a little bit back in Sword and Shield. So I was used to that, and I had like made trailers for that, and I always loved us all coming together for that. And I was like Battle Hub Draft League, and I was like, well, who's making it? And I was like, okay, well, I could because I could see the idea. I was, oh, if I could battle the same people that's at the Battle Hub server in a draft league, oh, that would be good. Because this was right around the same time where I was also getting more into draft and uploading draft to YouTube, so it was like perfect timing. So I was like, okay, let me go. So I applied, and then like, yeah, man, the rest is history. It was like I still look so fondly back on that first season. I guess because I had the Dragapult and I was doing really good, but also just like I don't know what it was. It was like because at first it was just like me like doing the battles like usual, right? But then it was like there was something different about it. Like by the time it was week 2 or 3, it was like I realized, wait a minute, I'm watching every single one of these games. You know, like when they come out, it's like prime time. It's like I need to go watch this game. I need to go watch Scorpion. I need to go watch Biradu. I need to watch Scorpion versus Biradu. I need to go watch freaking a Freighter and everybody that's uploading the games. You know what I mean? It's like I just couldn't get enough.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm really glad you joined actually. So as I mentioned, I considered you one of the top players in the server, and it was as soon as you applied for the season, it was an immediate yes to me. um, and yeah, so I think what mostly impacted us and made this tight community was that we mostly came from the same server, and also we were fairly new to draft. I remember when I was doing SDA, which is the second league that I played in. I was looking for more draft content, and I found out that you also did draft. I can't remember what you drafted and what video was this, but you were using Noivern back then, and Noivern was one of my favorite months at that time, and I thought, oh, this is really cool. So maybe Emerald has more experience than we do, but it looks like you didn't have much experience either.
I mean, I had some. Before I had done draft leagues. I didn't upload to YouTube. I didn't have the most experience. I mean, I had done some and like, but this was back in like Gen 7. Honestly, I don't think I did any drafts in Sword and Shield just because the freaking timer. I tell you what, I hated that timer so much. You you miss you're good on you for not having to deal with that 20-minute timer. Of course, we still have it, obviously, with regular Wipeout, so I guess you do have to deal with it. But at least we have the online battle competition where we can have 60 minutes, you know what I mean? But for
Yeah.
draft leagues, no. But I did do the one league in BDSP. That was the first one that I uploaded with, and that's where I met Al, actually, Abomination. Um,
Oh, interesting.
yep. and then it was the Sky Pillar League, I think, in Scarlet and Violet, where I had the Noivern. They had a crazy
So,
rule where every single Pokemon on your team could Terra, but they can only be one type. You had to draft a Terra type, and I chose Normal
oh,
to get Terra Normal Boom Burst Noivern.
yeah, that's too, yeah, that's too exciting not to choose normal.
Yep.
Also,
Oh, yep.
a question: did you have the timer in the DSP as well, or was it just in Sword and Shield?
Yeah, it was all, I mean, 20-minute timer, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think
Oh,
whenever we did that league, the YCL, if I had ran into any timer issues or not. I don't, because we just had the link room. It wasn't like we had the online competitions there either, so I'm pretty sure we still dealt with a 20-minute timer. I was
yeah.
hoping we
So
wouldn't, but yeah.
I remember I played CPL with the 20-minute timer, and then in the middle of the season, online competitions were able to be made. So
Oh,
that's
right.
where we switched to the competitions.
Yes. I know there was a
Yeah,
certain point, because then it was like, draft is back, and then Pokemon and all of them started doing like the BBR and the PPL and all that, and that's when draft really started to take off in Scarlet and Violet. So
yeah, yeah.
we were at right around the same time. Yeah,
Huge inspiration for me as well.
oh
So
yeah,
when I was seeing Pokemon and MB actually do Draft League, I mean, I consumed a lot of draft content in YouTube back
yeah.
then. I don't do that much anymore. I just probably watch AIM and BHDL matches, but I used to watch a lot of draft content.
It is a good point. Yeah, I wonder like how much of that also helped us to continue to grow ourselves, because I know some of my sets I've like gotten inspiration from some of the draft videos that I've seen, like the Endeavor Dockspin.
That's a really cool set.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess my next question is kind of just what is it like managing and owning a draft league? Of course, you passed the torch over to Scorpion, but you've still been doing a lot to be able to manage things behind the scenes. So just give us a little bit of insight as to what that's like. Obviously, you just told us that you had to get your own dock and make everything from scratch, basically. But you know, what else goes in with it?
Yeah, so the most difficult part about running a league is actually human resources. You have to deal with a lot of different personalities, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different opinions, and at the end of the day, we're people. We get affected by comments from other people. So getting everyone to be in the same boat and actually run a smooth league is the most difficult part, I think. The draft board, organizing the draft board, and organizing the commissioners. That's difficult at the beginning because you need to do everything from scratch, or you borrow a draft board and you tweak it. But the most difficult part, I would say, is make sure matches get played every week and deal with the drama that sometimes happen. So when I was doing season 1 and season 2, that affected me a lot actually. That was a big stressor to me. That's when I passed the torch to Scorpion, because he seemed like an organized person, and I think he's done amazing after that. Way better than I could have done because he's way more organized than I am. But yeah, that's the most difficult part, I would say.
Yeah, as a commissioner, I've definitely had to experience that myself, and I would 100% agree.
So yeah, I wasn't my initial commissioner team probably wasn't the most optimal. I remember I asked Stefan because he was a good friend of me that I met through SDA, and Adam because he seemed to be knowledgeable about the format, and he was a commissioner back then in SDA as well. Sorry about that. But they weren't the best at dealing with this whole drama, and I wasn't the best either. So we needed some change, and that's when I chose Scorpion. And he did a great job at picking you as commissioners. You've done amazing. I'm happy to be a commissioner as well, to be at his side, organizing stuff as well. Cause he, but yeah, that's what I can say about that.
Yeah, awesome. And I just wonder too, because I don't know if you experience this, but like a lot of times when I am having to like plan out my battle, or like I have to like tell my wife like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna have a battle like this time of day, or I'm gonna have a draft battle, or I have to like tell people like in IRL like, oh, I've got a draft battle going on. Do you like how much do the people in your life like know about like what you have created in the BHDL and like the impact it? Like I don't think people realize we basically created like our own shonen anime or like reality TV show. And it's like we all come together for this, but it's like the people right around us like don't even realize what we've done. You know, like what do you think about that?
Yeah, yeah. So my wife knows everything. He knows the whole story, and
Awesome.
she finds it fun that I like this. She supports me with my passion, and yeah, I when I have a battle, I had to tell her. Like I usually have battles late in the week, so I mostly make sure that I tell her that when I'm going to have the battle, so she doesn't plan anything ahead for that time. But the rest of my friends have no idea. I mean, they know I like Pokemon, but they don't know about BHDL. Uh, they just know that I play the video game. And some of them know about my YouTube channel. So I had a colleague in my previous work that was really into BGC. So he
Oh yeah.
used to watch my draft adventures, but no one else does. I mean, that's fun that you put it that way.
Yeah, well, I know just sometimes like I'll be like my students will come in. Like I have one kid that comes in early in the morning. He's like pretty into Pokemon, and like all throughout the BHDL, like I would be telling like, oh, I won my battle this week. Like or oh man, I just barely lost, or like something like this happened, like or and at one point, I was telling the kids, I was like, "Listen, guys, I've got a very important game. I think this was right before Scorpion and Raymond. I've got a very important draft battle today. I cannot have y'all messing up my mind or like getting me off my game here." I was telling them, and the next day they're like, "Mr. McRae, did you or did you win?" And I was like, yes, I won," or "No, I lost." You know what I mean? So,
That's really fun that you got to share that with your students.
yep.
Yeah. So my wife was actually cheering for me this last season because she knew that I never got to past quarterfinals,
Mm.
and after every time after I played, she asked how did I do. She was really sweet and really happy for me when I made to the finals, and really sad when I lost it. So yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah.
fun that my wife supports me in my hobbies.
Ah, that's awesome. That you got your wife is a cheerleader by your side. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, where do you see the future of draft, the future of BHDL in competitive Pokemon now that we know about Pokemon champions and the potential for what might happen in Generation 10?
I think it's going to be an explosion of new talents incoming with Pokemon Champions because you will be able to play from your cell phone, you know.
Yep.
And the Switch 2 is going to allow us to stream to our rest of the coaches in the league. So, I mean, technology is getting better for us to make this a more an easier to understand format and something easier to follow up on.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be huge. Champions is going to be huge for draft. Hopefully they don't have the stupid 20-minute timer,
Hopefully not.
but
But
if it
at least
doesn't,
give us online competitions. You know what I mean?
yeah, at least give us the same that we have now. But if it doesn't, I mean, I only foresee good things for the draft format and for BHDL. I don't think any BHDL is going anywhere. I think Scorpion is going to keep pumping up new content for us. I know he's really passionate about this, and I am too. In spite of not playing next season, and for future seasons until Gen 10 comes, I will be here just trying to put up the best content for you guys to have fun, for you guys to compete, and hopefully we get some new blood that revitalizes the generations, the seasons in the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way I feel about it, like I love doing this type of stuff like right now. Like even though I'm super burnt out from Pokemon and I don't feel like building any draft teams like right now, I love like talking about Pokemon in general though and like maybe doing like analysis in the future. But yeah, you made such a great point. I didn't even think about that. The fact that we could literally, as long as I guess we give each other the friend codes and we're friends on the Switch too, we could literally just be watching the draft battles while they're happening. We don't even have to wait for the upload.
Imagine we have a draft party, watch party in the
Yes.
server, and that's going to be we are going to be able to do that, and that's going to be really really fun in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Even more community stuff. That's gonna be amazing. Man.
Mhm.
All right. I think that's pretty much everything I had. Did we talk about I think we touched on this a little bit, but I'm not sure if we really talked about it all. But like the just the impact that BHDL has had on others, that we're bringing people from all over the world. Like you think about it, like you're in Chile and Scorpion and all of our European friends and Raymond in Russia. Of course, we got a lot of U.S. people, obviously. But there's people from. Oh wait, we just got King Burra from Italy. I mean, it's just crazy what's going
Yeah,
on.
DRV is from India. I think IC2 is from Singapore. Uh, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible that we even managed to 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 get around the time zones, to draft
Yeah.
and battle. But yeah, I mean, I never thought I would be able to make friends with someone in Singapore, and Pokemon has brought us together, and that's really
Yeah.
fun. That that touches my heart as well.
Yeah.
I
Universal
like to,
connection.
yeah, absolutely. I love to talk to people from different cultures other than mine, uh, and this has given me the chance to do so. Loki, I text Ray because Ray is one of my close friends, and ask him about Russia. I think I've done the same with Captain Biner, that I asked him sometime about the U.S. Some curiosity that happens with your guys' culture, having different states with different cultures as well. That's something that captivates me a lot, and yeah, that's amazing that I get to talk to people with from so many times, many parts of the world.
Yeah. Dang. You know what I just realized? Although I guess I mean it might be a little bit of the language barrier. I don't think that we've had anybody participate in the BHDL that's from Japan. That
No, we
that's
have
that
not.
that's how you'd know that we really made it. We made it all the way back
Yeah, I think,
to
but
Japan.
Japan culture with Pokemon is so different
And that's the good.
that
That's what I'm
how this.
saying is that like the I mean I guess it's mostly homogenous. Like we're all. But you think about like you said that video with like the Brazilian Tyranitar, and you think about like the Chinese EV spreads, and you just think about how it's like each culture they do competitive Pokemon a little bit differently, and like you play the Japanese players online, and it's like they use completely different sets than you would expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're very influenced about with Nintendo format. So BGC and VSS is big there. But I'd love to see them like trespass that barrier and go into Smogon formats and draft league. I mean, that would be really amazing. How and see how they take on things different than we do. That's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, I think that that's pretty much all my questions. This was an incredible talk, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Is there any other comments you'd like to add? Any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to say thank you to all BHDL fans and BHDL coaches from the past, from the present, and from the future. You've made my life happier than it was before I created and discovered Draft League. A big shout out to Scorpion and Raymond, who are my closest friend in Pokemon. I think in even outside Draft League, they are the people that I talk the most with. And thank you to all the commissioners that have made this possible. I mean, don't know how much I appreciate all your support.
Thank you so much, friend, for being here. And with that, folks, this concludes the second BHDL interview. More to come. I've got several lined up after this, so we should have a steady stream of these hopefully. And my goal would ultimately be to try to interview like as many people as possible, so to get all the idea of just having all these different backstories, all these different lives, all coming together in BHDL. It's a beautiful
I think
thing.
it would be fun if you can interview the champions.
Oh yeah,
Mainly, yeah. I'm obviously Scorp because he's a champion, but he's also the owner. I think he has a lot to say here.
Abs, don't worry. We've got. I guess I can go ahead and say it here. We've got the Scorpion and Raymond interviews incoming soon.
Hey, that sounds fun.
Yes, sir. All right. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.